Good evening, everyone. How are you guys doing? All good? Good evening, Varun. Good evening. Yeah, my day was good. Thank you. How about you? All good? Good evening, Harshal. Good evening, Shubham. Audio all good? Video all good? So we'll be doing data sufficiency today. Okay. So this is under the revision that we are doing, which is the last lab to MAH CET. So we'll be looking at data sufficiency. We're going to learn the concepts and we're going to solve like dozen questions. Okay, it's going to be fun. Yeah. Hi Anuja. Good evening, Dharmi. Hi Kalash. I'm all good. How are you? Hi Priya. I'm good. How are you? Hi Diluted. Good evening, Roosters. So tell me before we begin. Tell me, chal kya raha hai? What are you guys doing nowadays? Questions. Have you guys writing mocks? Hi Nate. Hi Milind. Good evening, Namrata. Not getting more mocks for the exam? I believe there will be a lot of places where you will find free mocks. I cannot actually comment on the level of questions, but it will give you kind of questions that you can practice, right? You don't have to worry about the scores because some of those mocks are really not as weighted as the actual exam is going to be, right? Previous year papers, जैसे people who have already covered it, so really they can't do anything. अब तो नया mock चाहिए, right? It's not a very famous exam, so you will not find a lot of mocks at all the places. Okay, that's nice, Priya. Doing practice. Hi, Om. Okay, that's nice, Aditi. That's nice. So, shall we begin? So, we'll be looking at initially the concept, the marking scheme that you have in a typical data structure question. And then we're going to look at a couple of examples, not couple, at least a couple of examples, and see how do we deal with them. Diluted, if you are solving that book, I hope you're not doing LOD 3, you're doing LOD 1 or max 2. For MAH CET, you do not require LOD 3. Take it, don't waste your time if you're doing it. If you're not already doing it, that's good. Hi, Guru. Jay, you can find those questions online, those previous year papers online as well. Bilkul. Hi, Roshni. So, let's start with this. So what is the structure of a typical problem of data sufficiency? Okay, so data sufficiency. So try to understand that phrase, data sufficiency. So data means the things will be given to you that may or may not make sense right away. Now you have to understand by reading that data statement that is that statement sufficient in order to answer a question. For example, this is the first question. What is the value of x? The first statement gives you x plus 4 is equal to 10. Right? And the second statement gives you 10x is equal to 20. So this will be a standard thing. Question will be asked and then you will be given two statements. Okay, so statement 1 and statement 2. The statements are given in such a way that the order will not change how you are going to get an answer. Okay, so if I write statement 2 first and statement 1 later on, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. ठीक है? If you are supposed to get answer by combining both the statements or only one of the statements or individually statements, your answer doesn't change. Okay. So before we proceed to the next slide, let's understand this. There are only two types of questions that you ever come across. Okay. All the questions that you have ever asked or you were ever asked are of two types of questions. One type of question is where you answer the question with a value. And the second type of question is whether when you answer the question in yes or no. There is no third type of question that exists in any subject, not just mathematics or data sufficiency. I'm talking about English, history, geography, science, arts, okay, polity, in anywhere. So let's take an example. For example, I can ask you, what did you have for lunch? So what did you have for lunch? Answer is going to be, I had chapati, I had rice, I had lentils, dal, I had vegetables, I had non-veg. You know, you can answer those in values, right? You're going to use the words. Values doesn't necessarily mean I'm talking about numerical values. कोई भी एक value. For example, what is your name? The answer that you're going to give is going to include your name, so that's a value, right? And the second type of question that I can ask you is, did you have your lunch? So the answer is going to be in yes or no. So these are the only two types of questions that exist anywhere. So data sufficiency deals with these two varieties of questions, which means 100% of the questions, type of questions that exist. Now, for the value-based questions, if you are doubtful, then only you say that no, you can't answer. So I will not use the word no. I will prefer that you are doubtful, then only you say that you can't answer. Okay. And in the case of yes or no also, whenever you are doubtful, as in you're not sure whether should I answer yes or whether should I answer no, then only you say you can't answer. So these are the only two scenarios where you say I'm not able to answer using this statement, or both, including both the statement, I mean combining both the statements, or whichever case it might be. So since these are the two types, let's look at one question from each type. Okay, I'll take a very simple example. Suppose the question is, what is the value of x? Okay, so first statement tells you that x square is equal to 4, and the second statement tells you 2x plus 3 is equal to 7. Now, question asked is, what is the value of x? Look at the first statement. Don't read the second statement. That's where we make a lot of mistakes. Okay, you have to concentrate on the first statement, overlook, make it blur the second statement, as if second statement doesn't exist. Forget about it. Looking at the first statement, can you answer this question, that what is the value of x? Yes or no? Good evening, Tanshri. It's okay, we just started. So Rishikesh says we can answer using only 2. So abhi wo nahi pucha Rishikesh. I only asked you, can we answer this question using only the first statement? X square is equal to 4. Can you answer this question? What is the value of x? Yes or no? As in, you can answer it because you are confident, yes, this is the answer, or you're doubtful. You don't know the answer, so you're like, no, I can't answer this. Can you answer this question using the first statement? Nah, you can't answer. Why? Because you are getting the value of x as -2 and +2. So there are two possible values of x. Now the question arises, क्या हो गया अगर दो values है तो? What happened? What's the problem? What is the value of x? X value is -2 or 2. दिक्कत क्या है? What is the problem here? What is the problem? हाँ स्वागत, we will see. What is the problem? That's what I'm asking. What is the problem? Because the answer is no. You can't answer this question using first statement. Because x की value you are getting -2 and 2. Now my question is, do the reverse engineering. You know the answer that it's no. Why is it no? Even though you are getting the values. We need confirmation. It's not in bracket. We need the definite answer. We are getting two values. Signs in second we cannot. Second की बात ही नहीं कर रहे, but let's not go second. First के. Unique solution nahi hai. That's what the Harmi says. So here it is, guys. We read a lot of things. We listen a lot of things. But how many times do you actually understand it? For example, if somebody asks me, what is your name? So somebody is asking me my name. What is your name? So this is what I will answer. My dad's name is YP Singh, and he was a mechanical engineer. And my mom's name is Anita Singh, and she was a homemaker. My dad retired in the year 2006. I did my master's in computer science, and I made a project in this and that. Won't you get irritated कि बंदे से सवाल क्या पूछा है, what the question is being asked and what kind of answer is he giving? Because I did not listen to the question carefully. The question asked was, what was my name? That's what the question was. And I started giving some random answers and I did not answer my name, right? Same is the issue here. When do you use the word is? This is an English word. When do you use is? Anyone? Is कब use करते हैं? English question, not maths, is when do you use it? It's not called straightforward answer diluted gaming, it's called answering things. So if my dad asks me, did you deposit the money I asked you to? मेरे को हाँ ना बोलना है. I don't have to give him, you know what, I left home and then there was no petrol, then I had to take an auto, get petrol, bring it back. What did he ask and what am I explaining to him? So it's not called straightforward answer. We have made it straightforward. The phrase we use it because people kuch bhi bolte, right? They don't talk whatever exactly is being asked. So no, it's not only about present, it's about singular. So what is the value of x? The question is asking you, give me one value of x. And you are giving two values of x. How are you answering this? Are you answering it correctly? नहीं ना, ये वही हो गया. Draw an analogy. My question was asked, I was talking about all about my family, but I did not answer my name. And same thing is over here. Question is asked, give me a value of x. Is an English word which means one. I believe you guys haven't forgotten that. If I ask you, you are going to the shop, please get me a 5-star. And you bring me 5 stars. You bring me 2 5 stars. You are stupid. You did not listen to what I asked you exactly. Because I asked you to bring me a 5-star. So when you are doing RCs, when you are reading passages, do you really read and understand exactly what it is given? या अपने मन से कुछ भी स्टोरी बन रहा है. They are talking about some history, some Harappa civilization, and you are thinking about the movie Kal Ho Na. ऐसे नहीं चलता है ना. You need to very carefully listen, read what is given and answer accordingly. That is the reason you can't answer this question using only the first statement. And this is also the reason in such kind of questions of type 1, whenever there is a value-based question, they will always use the singular is. Because if they happen to use are, it means आप हर question answer कर सकते हो. Even if you are going to get infinite values, you are able to answer it because they're asking you what are the values of x. You'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lifetime तक बोलते चलो, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Getting it? Everybody understood who is saying first से answer आ रहा है? I'm saying first से answer आ रहा है. I understand it. From a quant perspective, mathematics perspective, yes, you are able to solve it. But that's not what the question is. Can you solve this? No. Question was, what is the one value of x that will solve it? You are like 2 or minus 2. Nahi chalega. I asked you one value. Why are you giving me 2? Is this part clear? So you have to read the question very carefully. The pronouns and the ranking and the fractions, these all are very important. Okay, so we can't answer this. Let's go to the second statement. Now, once you are done with one of the two statements, forget about it. Short-term memory loss hona chahiye. The moment you read it, you are done with it, forget about it that you even read about it. That's when you're not going to make a mistake. Because the moment you read the next one, you'll be like, oh, I'm getting the answer from both of them together. Ye galat ho jayega. Okay. So when you read the next statement and if you solve it, you will get x is equal to 7 minus 3, that is 4 by 2, which is going to give you 2. Question asked was, what is the value of x? You are answering, sir, x is 2. I'm like, good. I asked you one value. You are replying me in one value. So you can answer this using the second statement alone. So yes, we can answer this. Good evening, Sony. Is it clear, everyone? The logic, it has got nothing to do with whether you're able to solve the question or not. Because think about this. दुनिया का कौन सा ऐसा mathematical equation है that nobody can solve? Everyone can solve. आज नहीं तो कल solve हो जाएगा. Right? So you can write down anything, any gibberish. It is solvable somewhere in the future. It was already solved. So then if you're not considering the number of solutions, तो always the answer is always yes, isn't it? It is, then the question becomes too irrelevant, useless. Okay. Okay, clear? Now the second type of question. Now for the second type of question, I will have to erase this part. This second type of questions, these are more tricky in nature. Okay. Suppose the question is X positive? Okay. The first statement is X is greater than -2, and the second equation is X is less than -2. Okay. Now, before you start solving it, hold your horses. रुक जाओ थोड़ा, लगाम लगा लो. Let's think about this. When what is the structure of the question so that you end up answering in yes or no? Think about it. What kind of question would be asked? Structure की बात कर रहे हैं, not precisely the language entirely, but structure, so that you answer in yes or no. For example, if somebody asks me, is your name Navin? I'll be like, yes. So if somebody asks me, have you done your MBA? I'll be like, no. If somebody asks me, are you married? I'll be like, yes. If somebody asks me, are you bald? I'll be like, yes. So if you listen to the questions carefully, you will realize that the question always starts with is, do, does, are. Think about it. Are something, something, something. Question mark आना ही है. Is something, something. Is he, is you, are you, did he, does that, right? So the structure of the question is such that the moment you start reading the question, you come to know that it's a question. Right? Agreed? Okay. So is X positive? So X is greater than -2. So think of the values. X is greater than -2. If I'm thinking it on the number line, so -2 is somewhere. X is greater than it. So it must be somewhere to the right of it. So if X is greater than -2, so it can be -1.9, it can be -0.5, it can be -1, it can be 0, it can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 100. It can take infinite values. But then number of values I'm getting is not my concern. Because question yes no wala hai, number of values ka nahi hai. Right? So the kind of values I am getting, if somebody asks me, is X positive? If I am thinking of X is equal to -1.9, -1, -0.5, 0, then I will say no, it's not positive. But then when I'll be thinking about the values 1, 2, 5, 100, 1000, I'll be like, yes, it is positive. So what should I answer this guy who has asked me is X positive? Yes bolu ya no bolu? I'm confused, right? I'm torn between the two cases. Yes bhi ho sakta hai, no bhi ho sakta hai. So that means I can't answer this because I'm doubtful. Agreed? Let's go to the second one. Forget about first. Bhul jao. Forget that even the first statement exists. Now, if you go to the second one, and now if you are looking at X is a value less than -2, so -2 is on the number line. We are looking at all the values to the left of -2 right now. So -2 is chota, less than -2, it could be -2.1, it could be -3, it could be -400, it can be -15.66, it can be -1000. So it doesn't matter which value or how many values I'm thinking about, they all are turning out to be negative, right? But again, question is not about negative. Question is X positive? I'm like, no, X is not positive. So I just did answer. So yes, I can answer this. So I will say, no, it's not positive. Negative है ये नहीं पूछ रहा. Again, If you're thinking along those lines, so you have to upgrade your vocabulary and your logic. Okay, आप अभी भी छोटे बच्चे की तरह सोचते हो. Question is X positive? All I have to think is if it is positive or if it is not positive. I don't have to think about negative. Okay. So no, I'm saying no, it's not positive. And the moment I said no, it means I was able to answer it. Now, some of you must be thinking, sir, no matlab nahi na. If I have said that no, this is not positive, so it means I can't answer it. So for that, I have a very good comeback. Okay, Varun, are you married? Varun, are you married? Are you married? Do you have kids? Quick, Varun. Everyone, please look at the answer Varun is going to give me. So I have asked Varun, is he married? Married. Shadi ho gayi hai? So Varun answers no. So Varun, you're not answering my question. I have asked you, are you married? You are giving me no as the answer. Giving the answer as no, did you just answer my question or not? Is no an answer or not? Tell me this. For example, if you ask me, sir, do you have hair on your head? I'm like, no. Did I just answer the question or not? Is no an answer or not? And a definite one. I'm pretty sure I don't have hair on my head. I'm pretty sure you are pretty sure that you're not married. I'm not sure about that. Because I don't know. Right? So no भी नहीं भी तो एक जवाब होता है ना. Got it, Varun? So is X positive? I'm saying no, it's not positive. I'm not doubtful. I'm pretty sure that no, it's not positive. So I answered it. Right, Abhijit? No means no. That's a very simple, a very strong thing that a lot of us don't understand. Samne wale, it happens, guys. Problem is not you. Problem is not, I mean, you did not, I mean, you were not taught. I was not taught. Nobody is taught this. So when your mom asks, are you going to have, let's say, a vegetable which you don't like? And you say no. नहीं मम्मी नहीं खाएंगे. Your mom is adamant कि नहीं तेरे को तो खाना ही है. You have to eat. So she doesn't take no as an answer. Same thing happens with us. During school days, if you want to spend couple of hours or few hours with your friends, or maybe watching a movie, or maybe going outside, and you ask your parents that you wanted to go outside, and your parents say no, you don't take no as an answer. Mind makeup करके गए हो, yes ही मिलेगा. So the moment they say no, for us, no is not an answer. We pressurize them कि नहीं, yes बोल के देखो. So we have never taken no as an answer. But no is actually an answer, and no is an answer to tons of things. For example, did you score 100 percentile in last year's CAT? You will say no. The moment you say no, तो मतलब कि आपने आंसर कर दिया ना जी. उसके लिए मैं जबरदस्ती पीछे पड़ जाऊं कि नहीं तू हाँ बोल के दिखा. ऐसे नहीं होता ना. Everybody understood this. That's why I said the second type, whenever the questions are related to whether this will happen or not, so the answer is going to be yes or no. I wrote down answer hoga yes or no. You will say that I am not able to answer a particular question using a statement only when you are doubtful. दोनों ही cases में. If you are not doubtful, if you are damn sure about it, you answered it. How does it matter कि did you answer it in a yes or did you answer it in a no? चलेगा? याद रहेगा? Okay, चलो, good. So data sufficiency has got directions. Directions as in they have got options. So there are two types of options. There will be either 4 options or there will be 5 options. Okay, since we are looking at MAH CET, we will be looking at the 5 options that you get in data sufficiency. So these are the 5 options that you are going to get. You are going to mark A if statement 1 will give you an answer and statement 2 will not. Okay? So you have to mark A that from the first statement you will get your answer, and from the second statement you are doubtful. I put a tick, that doesn't mean yes. Tick का मतलब है you are sure. ठीक है, तो मैं एक काम करता हूँ, instead of tick I'm going to put the word sure. If you're sure that you will get an answer from the first but you're doubtful from the second, you'll mark A. B is just the opposite of it. Opposite मतलब first से doubtful हो and second से sure. You will mark C जब first से भी sure हो and second से भी you are sure. You are sure individually. You read the first statement, you are like, I'll get an answer from this. Okay, an answer, A-N, singular. I'll get an answer from this. Then you forget about the first statement, you move to the second statement, you read that statement, and while reading it, you are like, I understood it, so I'll get an answer from this. So individually, you can answer the question. Oh, sorry. C was, you have to club them. Sorry, I mistakenly read D. So from first, you are doubtful. From second, you are doubtful. Then you go ahead and club. And while clubbing, you are then sure that yes, you will get an answer. Individually, you were not able to get an answer. Get an answer. If I hope you guys are listening carefully. बहुत जरूरी है. And then you club them and then you get an answer. Okay, D. If its statement alone is sufficient to answer the question, so this is like पहले वाले से you are sure and second वाले से also you are sure. And the last one is you are doubtful from the first statement. You are doubtful from the second. When you're doubtful from either of the statements, then only you go ahead and club them. And still, if you are doubtful that you will be able to answer it, then you mark option E, which is the fifth option. Okay. Sometimes A and B, they are clubbed so that you have four options. You have option number 1, you have option 2, you have option 3, you have option 4. So you have to read the directions carefully because they can rearrange the sequence. It's not always true that third wala hi, it is always individually alone and the second one is together. No, they can interchange it. Okay, so anything can happen. Who's Varun bhai? Okay, Abhijit, I'll change it. Okay, so what you do in questions, so in data sufficiency, you start reading the question and then the statement. Can you answer it using statement 1 alone? Right? Then can you answer it using statement 2 alone? Then you mark A. So when do you mark A? If you can answer using the question, using the statement 1 alone. So if you are able to answer using the first statement alone. And if you are not able to answer using the second statement alone, then you go to A. So I will write the word doubtful here. Okay, rather than here. And I'll use the word, I'll put the word sure here. So I'm sure, then you'll move forward. Next, if you're still doubtful, even if you have clubbed them, then it goes to, sorry, doubtful udhar ho chuka hai. If you are sure from that also, so you will go ahead and mark D. D, if you remember, I'll go to the previous slide. D is if each alone is sufficient to answer, right? So first statement se bhi aa gaya, second se bhi aa gaya, and then you mark D. Suppose if you are doubtful from the first one, okay, then you go to the second statement alone. And from the second statement, you are still doubtful. Then you mark C. When do you mark C? Now, if you are sure, together set. So this is just a flow chart. Okay. And if you are sure from second statement, you mark B. So this is how you mark A, B, C, D. Or worst case mein, if you are doubtful still here, you mark E. Okay. Acha, Varun, as in the person who asked, come on, he is a very sincere student, okay? And since he asked, to wo first gaya. I hope, Varun, you are not mad at me for that. How Pramod will be doing practice questions. Abhijit, in data sufficiency, you rarely get puzzles, but if you get puzzles, they are pretty easy. So first rule is answer has to be unique, like we discussed. It will always be using the word is. So what is the value of x? Statement 1. Yes, sir. Matlab you are mad at me. Okay, so what is the value of x? Statement 1 gives you x cube is equal to 27. Second statement gives you x to the power 5 is equal to 32. So mark option A, B, C, D, E. Quick, quick, quick. Guys, मस्ती बाद में इसको करते हैं. Jay, there is a difference between both and individually alone. Both मतलब होता है मिलाकर. It doesn't mean individual. So give me A, B, C, D, E. I'll go back to this. A means one alone, two se nahi. B means two alone, one se nahi. C means together. D means individually, and E means not even together. So I'll write it for the convenience of you guys here. Okay, so it is, you have to mark A. If one say you will get an answer, two say you won't. You will mark B. If first say you don't get an answer, from second you get. You will mark C. If first say you don't get, second say you don't get, you club and you get. You will mark D. If first say you get, second say also you get. You will mark E. If first say you don't get, second say you don't get, and even if you club, you don't get the answer. So कौन सा mark करना? So x cube is equal to 27. What is the value of x? 3. Did I just answer this question? Yes, I did. Forget about first. Let's go to second. X to the power 5 is equal to 32. So this gives us x is equal to किसका power 5? 32 होता है 2 का. So this is 2. So what is the value of x? X is equal to 2. Did I just answer this question? Yes, I did. Will I go ahead and combine? नहीं भाई. When I already have an option for this scenario, why will I go ahead and combine and make it confusing? Since I'm getting the answer from both of them individually, the answer is going to be D. D as in Delhi, Delta, Dehradun, Denmark. Okay? So each statement alone is sufficient to answer. Okay. Answer can be different from two statements. Okay. In this, I don't think the answer is different, but ठीक है. First से आएगा, second से नहीं आएगा. I will write on the marking scheme. I know you guys are not so good with remembering things. C is 1 से भी नहीं, 2 से भी नहीं, club करके yes. D is 1 से भी, 2 से भी, and E is 1 से नहीं, second से नहीं, club करके भी नहीं. डोंबिवली, दुबई. अच्छा ठीक है, नेम प्लेस एनिमल थिंग बाद में खेलेंगे. अभी व्हाट इज द वैल्यू ऑफ एक्स? आंसर दिस. Go slow. Data sufficiency is not like देखा और आंसर कर गया. It takes a lot of practice. बहुत ज्यादा practice चाहिए होता है. There is a pros and cons of data sufficiency. I love data sufficiency. I love data sufficiency more than mathematics as in quant or LRDI. Why? The cons part is you have to be very good with the concepts from whichever topic the question is asked. For example, मेरे को powers याद होने चाहिए in order to understand what is going to happen. Okay. So the cons part, मतलब negative part है, I should be good with the topic. The pros part is I don't have to solve anything most of the times. I'm like, हाँ ठीक है, these things are given, I'll get an answer. खत्म. Because there is no fill in the blanks, no, where you have to answer, figure out की value क्या और फिर put करना, ऐसा तो नहीं है ना. If you know you will get an answer, तो हो गया ना, that is good enough. So what is the value of x? The first statement gives you x square is equal to 4, so I'll get x is equal to minus 2 and 2. Did I answer this question? No. Is था ना, दो कैसे दे रहे? So the moment the first one is striked out, the answer can't be A or D. So people who are answering D, नहीं है D. Okay. Next, x cube is equal to 8. If x cube is equal to 8, so I will get x is equal to 2. There is only one value in this world whose cube is going to be 8, right? So I'll get an answer from this. ठीक है? ठीक है. So this is option B. I can answer this question using second statement alone and not the first one. Pramod, the number of questions are not kind of fixed. Varun, time will say. Time will tell. So statement 2 alone is sufficient, but first one was not sufficient, right? प्रांजल दो वैल्यू आ रही ना, यू आर गेटिंग टू वैल्यूज, इज पूछ रहे, लेट ज्वाइन करा, वी डिड दैट कॉन्सेप्ट. Okay, some problems like we discussed, some problems start with if are, so you answer in yes or no. Both the answers are valid, we have already seen this. So what is the answer for this? First marking is A, sorry, ulta likh diya. A marking is if first gives you an answer, second doesn't. B marking is if first doesn't give you the answer, second does. C is first doesn't give you answer, second does not, and the clubbing will give you the answer. Option is D, if first also gives you an answer, second also, and option is E, the last case, first से भी नहीं आएगा, second से भी नहीं आएगा, दोनों से नहीं आएगा. A, B, C, D, E. People who are joined late, guys, क्या कर रहे हो? क्या ही कर रहे हो? Why late क्यों आते हो? We have already discussed. A lot of people are giving the right answers. Lot. Few of you who have joined late will not know what is happening. So first question, x cube is equal to 125. What is the value of x? 5. Did I just answer this question? Yes. Is x is equal to 5? Yes, it is. So answer आ गया. I was able to answer this. Second statement, x cube is equal to 243. किस number का power 5 243 होता है? I shouldn't know that. Even if I don't know it, it's good enough because it's not definitely 5. 5 तो नहीं है ये, right? X is going to be 3 actually. 3 to the power 5 is 243. So, no, it is not. Is x is equal to 5? No, it is not. Did I answer this? Yes, I just did. So, you have to mark D option. दोनों से आंसर आ रहा है. पहले से yes, it is 5. From the second statement, no, it is not. A क्यों कर रहे? Why A? Guys, late नहीं किया करो. Concepts in all the sessions they are discussed in the first 10-15 minutes, maybe half an hour, the shortcuts and everything. So you shouldn't miss that part. बाद में ये लगेगा हाँ मेरे को सब आता है. I have done all these questions. That's a different thing. Concept ही miss कर जाओगे कैसे होगा? Okay, so from the first statement, the answer is yes, it is 5. From the second statement, no, it is not 5. Yes भी answer होता है, no भी answer. So you'll mark D. People who did not understand this, you should go and check the beginning, starting के I think 15 minutes, I think 15-20 minutes video where we have discussed exactly what is happening in such questions. Okay, गुरु तो लेट आना, टाइम पे आते हैं. Okay, now this is one scenario where you may not get the answers individually, but then you will have to go ahead and club. So quickly solve this. What? Find the value, the value, values nahi, value, English. Unfortunately, I can't do anything. The exam is in English, so you should know English. Abhijit can't really do any guesswork. Looks मुश्किल है. हाँ, if you know that from the two statements, one of the statements is giving the answer or definitely not giving the answer, you know that you have limited cases. Suppose पहले से answer नहीं आ रहा, so the option will be either B or option is going to be C or E. It can't be D. अगर पहले से आंसर आ रहा है, so answer is going to be either A or D, है ना? So depending upon which statement is giving you the answer, even if you are able to solve half of it, you don't know the final answer, but you have an idea kind of कि क्या होने वाला है. Options वही है, same options. A option is फर्स्ट से सेकंड से नहीं, बी ऑप्शन इज फर्स्ट से नहीं सेकंड से, सी ऑप्शन इज इंडिविजुअली नहीं बट क्लब करके, डी ऑप्शन इज इंडिविजुअली एंड ई ऑप्शन इज दोनों से नहीं एंड क्लब करके भी कुछ नहीं है. सो ए बी सी डी ई. So if you solve the first one, you will get the value of x as 1 and 2. Did I answer this question? No, I couldn't answer this question. पूछा जा रहा है एक वैल्यू बताओ. आई एम गिविंग टू वैल्यूज. Forget about the first one. Now let's go to the second one. If you go to the second one, the question asked is quadratic again. If you solve this, you'll get the value of x as 1 and 6. So what is the value of x? I don't know. I'm getting two answers, 1 and 6. So I can't answer it. When you don't get the answers from individual statements, then only you go ahead and combine. साथ में ढूंढोगे. If you combine, how many values of x? Okay, value or values. How many value or values of x are satisfying both? दोनों इक्वेशन को कितने वैल्यू satisfy कर? There is only one value which is 1, coincidentally same value 1, which is satisfying both. So दोनों combine करोगे तो एक ही value satisfy कर रही है. So I will say that the value of x which satisfies statement 1, which answers statement 1 as well as statement 2 is 1. So there is one value. So since I am getting the answer even after combining, sorry, not even, only after combining, so you will have to mark C. ठीक है? So if the statements taken together are sufficient to answer, but neither statement alone is sufficient. 2 and 3 are factors. Acha, sorry, my mistake. I factorized it wrong. 5x है ना, so my mistake. It's going to be 2 and 3. If it is 2 and 3, so how many value or values will satisfy both of them? It's going to be 2. So I'm getting the answer after combining. मेरे से गलती हो गई. I was thinking 6x plus 5, वो मतलब उल्टा पढ़ लिया. पढ़ा सही, समझ उल्टा लिया. So it's going to be C, that you can answer the question using the statements together, not individually. Okay. अभी तो केवल we are looking at the concept diluted. अभी तो actual questions are yet to come. स्नेहा, both मतलब इधर भी होना चाहिए, इधर भी होना चाहिए. For example, if I ask you to bring me something which is there in both kitchen as well as on the dining table, वैसी चीज लो जो दोनों जगह हो. बोथ का मतलब ये होता है, बोथ का मतलब नहीं होता है सब लेकर, right? So both means only the things that are common at the two places. So the only value that was common at both the places were 2. पहले में और दूसरे में common केवल एक ही value था, which was 2. Got it? Ashwarya, the question asked is value. No, why do you guys join late? Not common factor, Sneha. Both is an English word which means simply common. Okay, should exist in both two places. Both is only used for 2, right? So there is one plate which has got fruits and sweets. The other plate has got fruits and, let's say, candies. If I ask you to bring something which is in both the plates, so you will only bring the fruits. ठीक है? Okay, so these are the 5 options. Now we will start with 12 questions. Dozen questions we do every class, right? So we'll be doing 12 questions. I'll give you guys a minute, minute and a half. So you're going to mark A if the data in statement 1 is alone to answer, 2 is not alone. So 1 and 2 statement पहले से आएगा दूसरे से नहीं आएगा. You're going to mark A. You're going to mark B अगर 2 से आएगा first से नहीं आएगा. Okay, please write it down. Don't ask me to show the options again. I cannot come back again and again. Okay, if the data in either statement or 2 alone is sufficient, so ये alone C हो गया है. If the data even in both the statements 1 and 2 together is not necessarily, so दोनों से नहीं आया और club करके भी नहीं आया, you're going to mark D. And what is E? A is दोनों से नहीं आ रहा, and then you had to club, and then you're going to get 1. Okay, so I'm going to move away from this so that you guys can see the marking. And remember, शायद दिख जाए, दिख रहा है? नहीं दिख रहा, पूरा हटना पड़ेगा. Take the screenshot or write it down someplace. Krishna, read what options are given. Angrezi पढ़ लो. Read this part. I've written exactly same. Okay. Let's begin. This one. So they have changed the sequence, okay? The ones that we practiced with, those 5 options, now they have changed it to thoda sa upar niche kar diya. So you have to be, you should be confident. So the sequence of the marking is important. By selling a product for 250, how much profit was earned? And people who are online in the chat, not in the chat, people who are there watching the video, please do like. People who are not in the chat, please do subscribe and notify. We have more sessions that are coming up. Om, both matlab dono milakar bol rahe ho. So be careful when you're using the word both. The English word both, the way we use in our day-to-day life is wrong. अपन बहुत गलत इंग्लिश बोलते हैं डे टू डे लाइफ में. अगर इंग्लिश बोलते हैं टूटी फूटी भी बोलते हैं तो गलत ही बोलते हैं. So be wary of, are you writing the exact same thing what you're meaning, or is it something wrong that you're making a mistake? Okay, so dono cross or tick. So from the first and second statement, one से आएगा दूसरे से नहीं आएगा, you're going to mark A. You're going to mark B, first से नहीं आएगा, second से आएगा. You're going to mark C individually. You're going to mark D, दोनों से नहीं आएगा और क्लब करके भी नहीं आएगा. You're going to mark E, दोनों से नहीं आएगा and क्लब करके आएगा. Right? So I've written it on the left hand side. Option में option. So by selling a product for 250, how much of profit was earned? So selling price is given to us. What do I need? Think about this. What do I need to calculate profit if selling price is known to you? If you know at what price you sold something, कितने क्या चाहिए और, so that you can calculate how much of profit you had. Common sense. Don't read the statements. Normal सोचो ना. Question is given, some data is given. You have to figure out what is missing. Cost price is missing. We need cost, because if I get cost and I have the selling price, minus कर देंगे ना जी, I'll get my profit. ठीक है. So just reading this question might not reading the statements. मैंने statement देखा भी नहीं है. Trust me guys. I've only read the question. and I am thinking that if I somehow calculate cost price, if I'm able to, I'll get the answer. Okay? So the first statement, let's go to the first statement. 25% profit would have been earned if it was sold for 110. So selling price is given, profit percentage is given. I don't have to write down the equation क्योंकि आपको CP calculate करके you don't have to tell the guy or you don't have to tell me sir this is the cost price and this is the profit. नहीं करना ना calculate. आपको बस ये figure out करना है can you calculate cost price from the first? Yes or no? So in order to answer this and not solve it, you should know how do you solve questions on profit, loss and discount. If you have solved enough questions, you would know that enough information is here so that you can answer what the cost price is and eventually you'll be able to answer what the profit is going to be. Right? So पहले से answer आ रहा है. The moment पहले से answer आ रहा है, B can't be your answer, D can't be your answer, E can't be your answer. It's going to be either A or C क्योंकि पहले से answer आ रहा है. Let's go to the second statement. Depending upon second say you are getting an answer or not, you are going to mark A or C. Okay? Okay. The profit was 1/4 of the purchase price. So the cost price is CP. The profit is 1/4 of CP. So can I get CP plus 1/4 of CP is equal to 250? CP आ जाएगा. I'm using the part from the question. Cost price is CP, profit is 1/4 of CP. How do you get selling price? Cost price plus profit. Will I get CP from here or not? I don't have to solve it. आप देख के बताओ. There is one equation, one variable. Solve होगा कि नहीं जी? बिल्कुल होगा. So second also will help you solve it. So the answer is C. So that's the beauty, that's the good part about data sufficiency. I don't have to solve what CP is from either of the questions. मेरे को बस ये पता करना है कि निकलेगा आंसर कि नहीं, right? हाँ शुभम, so you have answered it good, but don't waste your time in DS solving it. Okay. Oh, we do have the cases in the next one. Take it. Let's go to the next one. Mr. Oberoi and Mr. Fernandez are in a partnership business of 1 year. At the end of the year, a profit of 30,000 was earned. Find the share of Mr. Oberoi. Don't read the statements. इतनी हड़बड़ी में मत रहो. ठीक है? Especially in the topic that you're not confident in. Topic मतलब this section, the data sufficiency section. Think slow. How do you calculate out of total profit how much of profit goes to which person? As in total profit ka what share will go to whom. So let's use the concept here. So don't you think I need two things in order to figure out what share will go to someone? First is how much money they invested. And the second is for how long they invested. So the amount of money and duration, they both are important in order to figure out what is the share of one guy. है ना? ठीक है. So let's look at the first statement. Mr. Oberoi invested 65,000. Good, अच्छी बात है. But how much did Mr. Fernandez invest? So we don't know how much money they invested. If Mr. Fernandez invested 65,000 only, so I know the ratio of profit sharing, if the tenure is same, will be 1:1. Amount of investment का ratio 1:1 in other words, right? तो मेरे को नहीं पता कि what is going to happen with Mr. Fernandez. So of course I can't answer this question using first one. पहले से नहीं आएगा, कुछ नहीं पता चल रहा. Let's forget about first. Forget about it. ठीक है? Second, Mr. Fernandez withdrew his capital after 9 months. Okay, great. So Mr. Fernandez had kept the money for 9 months. ये पता चल गया. But how much money did he invest? For how long did Mr. Oberoi invest? How much money did Mr. Oberoi invest? We don't know any of those. क्योंकि अपन को चार चीजें चाहिए. The amount of money invested by Oberoi, the amount of money invested by Fernandez, the duration for which Mr. Oberoi invested, the duration for which Mr. Fernandez invested. चार चीजें चाहिए. Out of those four, We know only the investment amount of Oberoi and the duration for which Mr. Fernandez invested. So even after clubbing, I'm not going to get the answer because individually तो anyways नहीं आता, right? So I will have to mark T. If the data even in both the statements together is not sufficient to answer the question, a lot of you have answered it correctly. Yes, yes, Krishna, it does. That's why I learned data sufficiency, because I have practiced like thousands of questions in data sufficiency. Of course, over a decade's time, एक साल में नहीं. But I prefer data sufficiency because it helps me revise the concepts of quant. बहुत ज़्यादा. So solve. It also helps me understand just by reading a maths question, a quant question, ki what all things are given and what other things are required to solve. So it helps me select a question or to ignore it. कि नहीं यार ये लंबा जाने वाला है, because I know there are many things missing. I'm like, okay, only one or two things are missing, so I'll get it. So DS is a very, very strong topic to master quant. Rohan, this is the standard level of data sufficiency in CET. Okay, so I'll get the answer as delta D. Let's move to the third question. Ritu and Mitu can complete a task in 10 days. Mitu alone can do it in 22 days. What part of the work was carried out by Ritu? Don't read the statement. मैं बार बार बोल रहा हूँ, ठीक है? Data sufficiency में accuracy is very bad for a lot of us. Reason being, we are in a hurry. हमें तो लगता है कि हम पढ़ लेंगे और हम समझ लेंगे, हम इतने विद्वान हैं. हम नहीं हैं. Accept it. We are not good at it. Okay? So that you are careful. Read what is given, read what they are asking. Don't look at the statements. Think, how will you be able to figure out whatever they're asking? What are the missing things? Then when you read the statements, you will very easily figure out, अच्छा ये missing था, ये तो given है, answer आ जाएगा. अच्छा ये missing था, but they have given us something else, अरे नहीं आने वाला, है ना? Yes, Om, very good. It is critical reasoning of quant. It is. Varun, they were not cursing. They were just having fun. दिल पे मत लो, वो मस्ती कर रहे थे. चल. Okay, so all of you have answered A. Let's see. So the question is, Ritu and Mitu can complete a task in 10 days. So I know together they take 10 days. What formula, what I have to do, I'm not worried about it. मेरे को दोनों का together पता है. Mitu alone can do it in 22 days. Good. Mitu alone can do it in 22 days. So what part of the work was carried out by Ritu? What part of the work, not total work? Because had the question been कि Ritu can alone finish the task in how many days, मेरे को तो कुछ नहीं चाहिए. I can solve in how many days Ritu can complete the same task. But the question is not that. Question is, उस पूरे task का a particular part, a fraction of that task, how many days will she take? So don't you think I need that part of the work that they're asking us? मेरे को वो fraction of the work that they're asking, I need that part, because from these two statements I already know Ritu will finish this work in how many days? है ना? Okay. The first statement says Ritu completed the job alone after Ritu and Mitu worked together for 5 days. ठीक है? So they're telling you that Ritu completed the job alone after Ritu and Mitu worked together for 5 days. Okay, so the thing is, I know together, I know Mitu ka alone, and using these two, I know Ritu ka alone also. What is the value? I don't know. I don't care. Once I know this, I know the total work as well from here. You know? From this statement, I will come to know how much of work Ritu has completed, because I will come to know for how many days did she work alone, and then they finish the remaining job in the next 2 days together. So total काम का Ritu what fraction covered, I will be able to answer it. Let's forget about the first one. From the second one, part of the work done by Ritu could have been done by Me2 and C2. There is a third guy now in 8 days. The moment third guy comes in, we have no idea about C2 alone will take how many days. Me2 का तो पता है ना? So if I know Me2 will take 22 days and Me2 and C2 take 8 days. So we can figure out C2 alone, then we can figure out C2 alone will take how many days, right? If C2 is able to do it in certain number of days, तो ये नहीं निकलेगा इधर से. Second statement is little confusing. Part of the work that they're asking done by Ritu could have been done by Me2 and C2 in 8 days. So it's not that Me2 and C2 are completing the total work. So we don't know C2 का alone. So second से तो नहीं आना. But in the first also it's given that the part work is not given, no? But from here we can figure out what part of the work. पहले से तो आ जाए. First say we can figure out what is the part of the work that Ritu can do. But from the second one, there is a third person that has come in. Uska individual nahi pata. We can't calculate that. So how will we calculate total work ka kitna part? They two together they have done Me2 and C2. So we won't be able to figure out Ritu ka. So पहले से आएगा, second से नहीं आएगा. नहीं आएगा. So if it is not going to happen, we are not going to club that. Let's see, what did I write? हाँ, so A alone पहले वाले से आ जाएगा, second से नहीं है, right? A first statement alone is sufficient, second is not. Second alone is not sufficient. ठीक है. Next question. A jeep and a tractor start from CTP at the same time. How far is the CTQ from CTP? Read the question, think what is required. If they're asking us the distance, I know they started at the same time, so I need their speeds as well as time. दोनों चाहिए अपने को, है ना? देखते हैं. So these are the marking. मीटू को पता है तो रितु का आएगा, और रितु और मीटू को कंपेयर करके चिट्टू का भी है. हाँ रोहन, only if you use the first statement and the question part, then you will get an answer. Using that you can solve the no, you won't be able to solve the second statement still, because Me2 and C2 got together part. It's not that they're completing the total work. Me2 and C2 they're completing some part of the work. ठीक है. Total work लिखा होता तो definitely it was possible from second alone as well. So TSD A C E alpha echo Charlie delta So the answer is it's going to be echo. ठीक है. This is a very standard question. TSD के starting के questions में से है ये. From going from home to work or going from office to home, I increase my speed by this fraction, or I increase my speed by this much percentage. I took 1 hour less, 2 hours later. यही तो होता है ना जी, ये वही है. Okay. So I need the speed and time both for both of them because they started simultaneously. If I look at the first one, the Jeep is traveling at an average speed of 70 km per hour, reaches CTQ at 5:30. Good. Speed पता है? Time चाहिए. At what time did they start? We don't know. If they started at 5 o'clock, Jeep must have traveled only for half an hour. So distance would be 35. If they started at 4:30 p.m., so Jeep 1 घंटे चली होगी, so distance will be 70. So we don't know at what time they started, so I can't answer using the first statement. You know? Forget about first. Second, the tractor reaches CTQ at 4 p.m. at an average speed of 50 km per hour. Same चीज दे दिया पहले का copy second में, but instead of Jeep now we have tractor, right? So of course you won't be able to solve because speed is given and time of reaching is given. Time starting नहीं पता हमें, same time नहीं पता ये वाला. So just like I was not able to answer the first one, I won't be able to answer using the second one. है ना? When you are not able to do this, you will go ahead and combine them. Now when you combine them, you know the speeds of both and you know that time taken जो होगा वो उससे 1.5 hours ज़्यादा है. Okay. So suppose the tractor takes T time, so Jeep will take how much time? Think about this. Tractor को आपने invite करा dinner पे, party में. Tractor reached at 4 p.m. So tractor was like, I took T time. Jeep reaches at 5:30. So how much time will Jeep, how much time Jeep must have taken? So definitely T plus 1.5 hours. है ना? So distance is given as speed into time. And this is given as speed, sorry, 50 into T plus जो भी है. ठीक है, whatever is there. I will be able to get the answer or not, club करके. अभिजीत, that's what I'm saying. नहीं पता. So starting time को fix वो भूल जाओ. आप ये सोचो कि if T turns out to be 2 hours later on, तो we can calculate vice versa, no? इसमें ना मेरे को लग रहा है कि ये उल्टा हो गया. ट्रैक्टर का स्पीड 70 होना चाहिए 5:30, जीप का 4 PM होना चाहिए 50. अच्छा नहीं, टाइमिंग ऊपर नीचे हो गया. ठीक है. So we will be able to answer this, right? Anyways. Got it? 2 variables D and T and 2 equations. Answer तो आना ही है. Don't have to solve it. So together is necessary to answer the question. So E से आ जाना चाहिए आंसर. Sorry, यहाँ पे मेरे से कुछ मिस्टेक हुआ. It's not alone. It should be together. Okay. Alone तो बिल्कुल नहीं है, right? So it should be together. So you will have to use the first statement and second statement both. So if one of them travel for T time, the other travel for T and a half, T 1.5 hours more. E था ना, where you can answer the question using both the together. Both statements are required. Rohan, Guru. हाँ सुरभि, that's what I'm saying. It's not about time is more, it's more about the speed should have been 50 and 70. ये गलत कर दिया. Because the one, hold on, 7, okay, ये 7 PM था. Look at the question. It is 7 PM. So this is 7 PM. अभी ठीक है. This is still solvable. The one whose speed is more reaches early. The one whose speed is relatively less reaches late. So timing का वो था 4 to 7 होना चाहिए था. And the answer is going to be E. You will have to solve the question together. I mean using both the statements together. यहाँ 7 PM है, उधर चेंज करना मैं भूल गया. हाँ नयन, you will get T, put it back, you will get D. टाइम पता चल जाएगा, वापस पुट करोगे तो डेल्टा भी पता चल जाएगा ना. If you have two variables and two equations, how do you solve both the variables? You solve any one of them, put it back, you will get the answer for the second. Right? Swagat? हाँ, diluted E है, it's echo. Okay, how many candidates from ABC Academy got selected in the Indian badminton team? Number of candidates who are from ABC Academy and PQR Academy are in the ratio 4:5 respectively, and 70% of the candidates from PQR Academy got selected in the Indian badminton team. Number of candidates from PQR Academy who got selected in the team is 110% of the number of candidates from ABC Academy who got selected in the team. ये तो स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड क्वेश्चन है ना. It's straightforward. Everything is in terms of percentages or ratios or fraction. We don't have the magnitude. Total kitne hai bhai? 100, 200, 500. If you don't know that, how can we calculate number of candidates? If they would have asked us percentage of candidates, fraction of candidates, then we could have been able to try it out. But the exact value we can't figure out because there is no magnitude mentioned anywhere. So पहले से भी नहीं आएगा, second से भी नहीं आएगा, club करके भी क्या ही आएगा, नहीं आएगा. So the answer is going to be D, delta. None of these statements as well as together also they are not good enough to answer the question, right? So everyone was correct here. D is the answer. चलो सॉल्व नहीं करना पड़ा, कॉमन सेंस लगाया कि सब चीज रेशियोज है, मैग्नीट्यूड दिया ही नहीं. Vicky has a query. Anyways, we don't know that candidates are selected from only these two academies. That's not our concern, Vicky, because they have asked you about ABC and the relation of ABC was with in terms of PQR. तो PQR का रेशियो ABC के साथ गिवन है और उसका परसेंटेज भी गिवन है, selected and relative percentage. So I don't care how many are there, but if I can figure out how many candidates of PQR were selected, तो उसका 110% उधर हो जाता ना अपने आप. Doesn't matter how many academies were there, right? Yes, Varun, it would have. No, Pranjal, you don't. You can't. If you are going to assume the answer, you are going to be an assumption only, no? Because instead of 100, if you take 1000, तब तो कुछ और आएगा, है ना? तो वो assumption है. Actual answer तो नहीं है. Actual answer नहीं पता, किसी को नहीं पता. Dashit, not last year, 1 month ago only. So the question is again based on TSD. Two buses are traveling towards each other on the same track. टकराने वाले हैं. The initial distance between them is 100 km. Find the time when the two buses will collide. See, I told you, same track पे opposite direction. Okay, so what do I need if I want to figure out time in which they are going to collide? I need their speeds or I need some of their speeds. Individual speeds nahi pata. Some of the speeds is good enough. Not ratio, nothing. Actual, क्योंकि actual time चाहिए अपने को. So let's see if we can get it. The first statement tells you the speed of the first bus is 50 km per hour. Speed of the second bus is 20 km per hour more than that of the first. Great. मेरे को दोनों का speed पता है. I will be able to answer using the first statement alone. Right? Okay. So let's forget about the first. Second, the ratio of the speeds is 7:9. Ratio का अचार डालेंगे. Won't be able to answer from the second. 1 is alone and 2 is not alone. Answer is A. Krishna, it's always about duration. Clock का कोई लेना देना नहीं इधर. So either I wanted individual speeds alag-alag so that I can add them later on, or maybe if they may have already given us the sum of the speeds. So it will not matter what their actual speeds are. सम तो उतना ही है ना, वही तो डालना है डिनोमिनेटर में, राइट? रिलेटिव स्पीड टाइम का फॉर्मूला, राइट नरेश, राइट मयूर, A is the answer. Let's move to the next one. What is the area of the circle? Now we have moved towards geometry. So area चाहिए circle का. What do I need? I need the radius. That's it. Or I need the diameter. Either radius or diameter, कैसे भी hook or crook पता चल जाए. I'll calculate what is the area of the circle. Because these all questions are related to values. हमें answer करना है. Tiki, it can be anything from at least 3 questions to 4 questions. On an average, you can take 4 questions. How to get time? Time is given by the formula this, no, Varun? Time is given as distance divided by sum of speeds. This is how you calculate when people are moving in the opposite direction. You add the speeds. So speeds to pata hai pehle se. You add. Yeah, back to the question. Radius of the circle is equal to the side of the square. So नाक ऐसे नाक नहीं पकड़ रहे, घुमा के. So they are not going to give us the directly the radius of the circle. पहले side of the square निकालो, right? Perimeter of the circle is equal to the perimeter of the rectangle whose area is 150 square centimeter. A little weird, right? Because initially it says side of the square and then square vanishes randomly. There comes in a rectangle whose area is 150. Now, if you have a rectangle whose area is 150, means दो number का product 150 है. Those two numbers can be anything. Oh, there are infinite values. So if the area is, you can have infinite values of length and breadth. You can have infinite values of perimeters. You can have infinite values of the circumference of the circle, which will give you infinite values of the radius. Since you don't know the radius, you would not know the area. So पहले से तो नहीं है. I hope that match the following thing that I just did, because I will not be able to get a unique answer, so I won't be able to get a unique answer. So I backtracked, right? That was clear. Let's look at the second. Area of the parallelogram is 182 square centimeter. Now parallelogram is something which is like slant. एक box है, carton, Amazon carton, brown color, उस पे बैठ जाओ, वो parallelogram हो जाता है, ऐसे हो जाता है. Unless and until you're not Yokozuna की ऐसे हो जाए, but parallelogram is this, right? And the height of the parallelogram is equal to the radius of the circle. Again, product of two numbers is 182. We don't know what the base and the height of the parallelogram is, that because that's how you calculate, no? Area of a parallelogram is given as a base and this height. So I know B into H is 182. What is H? नहीं पता मेरे को ना, तो second से नहीं आने वाला, right? Since I won't be able to get it, so I don't know what the radius is. If I don't get them individually, then we have to club them. If I club them, is there any relation between parallelogram and a rectangle? No. And areas are also very different, right? So दोनों मिलाकर भी तो कुछ नहीं निकले. Right, Shivam? Perimeter, the English word perimeter of a circle has been given a unique name, circumference. Instead of circumference, you can call perimeter of a circle. Nobody is going to tell you that you don't know things. Okay? Because logically it started with perimeter only. When there are people like, लोग पागल है ना, एक ही चीज के 10 नाम देते हैं भाई, उनको तो नहीं पढ़ना होता, उनको तो लिखना होता है, पढ़ना तो हमें पड़ता है. So instead of perimeter, they are like कि circumference एक और नाम दो, सड़ने दो इनको एग्जाम में. So you can call perimeter, it's the same thing. Okay, so even after clubbing them, you will not, even after clubbing them, you will not get the answer. D, right? Right, D is the answer. Okay, find the rate of interest per annum. Percentage is SICI. So The moment they have asked us rate of interest per annum, सबसे पहले चीज दिमाग में आना चाहिए कि are they talking about SI or CI, which is very important. Sometimes people assume कि SI का क्वेश्चन है. क्यों? उनको कैलकुलेशन कम करने का मन है. So वे assume कर लेते हैं कि अब मैं तो SI वाला solve करूंगा. No, unless and until they haven't mentioned whether it is SI CI, don't assume it's SI. First thing. Okay. Second, in order to calculate rate of interest per annum, I may require principal or amount, right? One of those two things along with tenure. Because if you try to visualize the formula of SI or CI कुछ भी, तो आपके पास variable होता है principal, compound interest, simple interest, amount, tenure and rate of interest. 6 चीजें होती हैं. Out of these 6, there are always three things are together, right? In the case of simple interest, you have got P R percent T. In the case of compound interest, you have got P 1 plus R percent whole ka power T minus P. Amount under simple interest is given as P 1 plus R percent into T. And amount under compound interest is given as P 1 plus R percent into T, right? So, they are asking us the value of what is R. For R, I need simple interest, compound interest, amount में से कुछ, principal and the tenure. उसके बिना नई R निकलेगा, है ना? ठीक है. First question says an amount becomes 4 times itself at simple interest in 20 years. 4 times itself. Amount becomes 4 times itself. Itself means this is principal and amount becomes 4P. So मेरे को P पता है, amount पता है, T भी पता है. Will I be able to figure out? Amount word used है ना, so we are talking about the third formula. Do we know what is amount under simple interest? Yes, it is given. Do you know what P is? Yes, it is given. Do we know what T is? Yes, it is given. Will be able to solve it? बिल्कुल. Should we solve it? बिल्कुल नहीं. इतना टाइम नहीं है कि हम सॉल्व करके फिर डिसाइड करें सॉल्व होगा कि नहीं. दिख रहा है. We will be able to get it. So from first you will get the answer. Right? Second statement. The difference between the simple interest and compound interest on 60,000 for 2 years is 3,560. अब ये इन्होंने फिर वही सीधे नाक नहीं पकड़ा है, घुमा कर पकड़ा है. क्वेश्चन बनाना है ना. अच्छा. So what is the formula for difference of simple interest and compound interest at the end of 2 years? So in case people did not know, it is given as PR percent का whole square. ये होता है डिफरेंस. ठीक है. डेल्टा 2 मीन्स जो डिफरेंस है. सो डिफरेंस इज 3560. प्रिंसिपल इज 60,000 एंड R परसेंट इज ओवर हियर. R की वैल्यू आएगी, बिल्कुल आएगी. शुड वी सॉल्व इट? बिल्कुल नहीं. वी कैन गेट द आंसर फ्रॉम सेकेंड वर्स. If in statement 1 SIS would be given, then we would have been able to solve it. First statement it is given simple interest, Shubham. And in the second one, they have given you the difference of SI and CI. है ना? So we can answer the question using either of the statements alone, right? So, Charlie, see? For second, we need rate also, so PR square 101%. So that's what we have to calculate, Varun, right? Right, Om, exactly. Good, good. If one alone can give the answer, then definitely you can eliminate the both and none wala. You can see, अगर पहले से आंसर आ गया ना, तो 3 options eliminate हो जाते हैं. Because either you will get the answer from only one, or you will get the answer from 1 and 2 individually. Then 3 options are eliminated. अब तुक्का मारना है. You are in a hurry, time नहीं है, last के 5 seconds है. You really can't figure out the second one. छोड़ने से अच्छा है, negative marking नहीं है ना, तो you have to attempt all the questions. Right? Okay. See. 9th. A bag contains 5 pink, 6 blue, some golden and some silver gloves. Find the total number of gloves in the bag. So we need golden and silver. I need total ratio fraction of total कुछ कुछ करके चाहिए, because there can be a lot of cases. They can use percentages, simple उससे 20 ज्यादा, इससे 30 कम करके कुछ भी हो सकता है, right? We have done so many questions, so we can figure out what may happen. Let's try. Yes, diluted. That is good enough to get a call, but if you really want to score high, so level 2 also is something you should go after. पवन 3 ईयर का फॉर्मूला चाहिए, क्या करोगे 3 ईयर का, नहीं आएगा एग्जाम में. डेल्टा 3 इज गिवन एज पी आर परसेंट का होल स्क्वायर 3 प्लस आर परसेंट, ये डेल्टा 3 होता है. डेल्टा 2 इज गिवन एज पी आर परसेंट का होल स्क्वायर. डेल्टा 1 होता है घंटा, कुछ नहीं. There is no difference between SI and CI at the end of the first year. With the same principle, same rate of interest. Second year onwards, you start getting differences. ठीक है? डेल्टा 4 मत पूछना. So, first statement tells you number of silver balls is twice the number of golden balls. बढ़िया, अच्छी बात है. So golden balls is x, so silver balls will be 2x. Good. But what is the total number? नहीं पता. 5 plus 6 plus x plus 2x. How will I answer it? Second, probability of drawing one golden ball from the bag is 1 by 8. So 1 by 8, it can be 2 by 16, it can be 100 by 800. How will I figure out उसमें से कितना golden कितना silver है? नहीं निकलेगा. Individually, I will not get answer. So अब या तो answer is going to be C, sorry, D or E. Together से या तो आएगा या नहीं आएगा, right? So if I club them, so the probability question, probability में golden ball is going to go in the numerator, and in the denominator you will have total number of balls, right? So 5 plus 6, which is 11, plus 3x, this is given as 1 by 8. Shall I solve it? No. वैसे गड़बड़ है. The values are difficult as in you will get fraction, not proper values are there, पर solve नहीं करते हैं, ठीक है? So you'll not get the answer even if you club them. Sorry, you will get the answer when you club them. Oh yeah, thanks for pointing it out. It's gloves, and they're talking about number of balls in the. So even if you club it, क्या ही निकालोगे? You're not going to get the answer. It's going to be. देखो, यही होता है जल्दी जल्दी पढ़ने में. They have given us gloves, and in these statements you have got balls. कुछ नहीं निकलेगा. अच्छा, E was together is necessary. D, it should be D. Sorry, it should be D now. D means together से भी नहीं आ रहा. Data in together is not sufficient. Sorry, I made the question and I forgot that I have written gloves over here and I have written balls over here. तो मेरे जैसे ही कुछ टीचर्स होते हैं जो क्वेश्चन बना देते हैं और एग्जाम में मालूम चलता है एराटा आ गया. एराटा as in there is some error because they did not get it proofread from someone. Okay, 10th. Find the curved surface area of the cylinder if the length of the rectangle is 12 meter more than its breadth. What? Length of the rectangle क्यों लिखा मैंने? कोई नहीं. हाँ, सी मतलब कि तभी मेरा मजाक उड़ा लो, गलतियां हो जाती हैं. जैसे भी मैं पढ़ते कैसे मेरे को ध्यान है कि why did I write this length breadth of a rectangle and we're talking about cylinder. Then like, अच्छा, I had related these two figures, rectangle with this cylinder. तो तुरंत स्ट्राइक किया रहा है, ये करा. हाँ वरुण, of course you can guess. So let's see if we can answer this question using either one alone, two alone, together. Everyone, please do like the video. I don't see enough likes. जितने लोग हैं उसके हिसाब से बिल्कुल likes नहीं है. So we have a cylinder. In order to calculate curved surface area of a cylinder, what are the things you need for curved surface? You need the radius and you need the height. And then they have given you length and breadth of a rectangle. So there is a rectangle whose breadth is x and whose length is x plus 12. We have to figure out curved surface area of this cylinder. क्या होने वाला है मेरे को नहीं पता. Somehow or the other, I will have to figure out how radius is related and how height is related to this rectangle, right? Let's read the first statement. Perimeter of the rectangle is 110 meters. The moment I get 110, I will know the value of x. पता चल जाएगा. And radius of the cylinder is 3 meters less than half the length of the rectangle. So I will be able to calculate radius. Because length of the rectangle pata hai, from there I can calculate the radius by whatever calculation they're asking us. But do I know the value of height? No. How will I calculate curved surface area? So from first, even though I was able to get good amount of information, I still can't calculate what they're asking me to. So pehle se to nahi aane. Second, the height of the cylinder is equal to the breadth of the rectangle. Kya hi kare iska? Height is equal, h is equal to x. Both are not known. दोनों का क्या करेंगे? So second से भी नहीं. We will have to go ahead and combine. If we combine from this 110 meters, if I get x, so I will get the value of h as well as r, and I will be able to calculate curved surface area for sure. So both are related, right? So it's going to be E. Both the statements are necessary in order to answer the question. Okay? Good. Good. So far, out of 10 questions that we have done so far, in only 3 questions, everyone was correct. Otherwise, there was always some doubtful scenario. Time and work. In how many days can 5 men complete the work? 1 woman or 1 boy can do the work in 24 days, while 2 women, 1 man and 1 boy can do it. Okay. So just glance through the first statement and realize they are talking about some different groups of people working together, or different groups of people working on the same job, one after another. Udhar se nikalna. So if you have solved similar questions before, you would know what all things are required, right? Let's see. Like the video. Delta, Alpha, Echo. People who are saying A, alpha, as in first से आएगा, second से नहीं आएगा. क्यों नहीं आएगा second से? If you are going to get an answer from the first, why will you not get the answer from the second? Because first and second, they are exactly the same. Logically, they are the same sentences. Values change कर दिया तो पहले से आएगा, तो दूसरे से क्यों नहीं आएगा? 1 woman, 1 boy. 1 boy, 1 woman. First and second statement. 24-12 कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. 2 women, 1 man and 1 boy. 10 women and 10 men. Right? तो यहाँ पर and है और है, तो ये तो logically same है. So answer is going to be either individually से आएगा और maybe club करके आएगा, या तब भी नहीं आएगा. It can't be that it will come from 1 alone and not 2, and it is 2 alone or not 1. So it's not going to be A or B for sure. इतना तो मैं बता सकता हूँ. So it's going to be C, it's going to be D, it's going to be E. Okay. So we require 5 men to complete the work. My concern is not 5. My concern is even if I figure out 10 men, 500 men, 1 man, kuch bhi aa jayega, I can figure out 5 men. Enough. Let's look at the first statement. One woman or one boy. This word or is very important. और मतलब या तो ये ग्रुप या फिर ये. So it's going to be either a woman or only a boy that can finish the work in 24 days. So this tells us a woman or a boy, they are equally efficient. One woman can finish a work in 24 days and one boy can also finish it in 24 days. So let's not read women and boys as two different things. दोनों को boy या दोनों को woman बोलते हैं. Equally efficient है ना. I'm as good as you, so it's like तुम काम करो या मैं करूं, क्या फर्क पड़ता है. Okay. While 2 women and 1 man and 1 boy. So 1 boy की जगह let's replace it by 1 woman. So question changes to 3 women plus 1 man can finish the work in 6 days. So I know that 1 woman can finish in 24, so 3 women will finish in how many days? So from here, can I figure out 1 man will take how much time in order to complete the work? Nikal sakega? Will I be able to get the answer for this? Yes or no? Quick. निकल जाएगा ना? We will get the answer. फर्स्ट से आ गया. The second one is 1 boy and 1 woman. So we have got 1 boy and 1 woman can do the work in 12 days. And 10 women, 10 men will be able to do the same work in 8 days. Now we have more variables and we have less equations. अच्छा हाँ, तो यहाँ पर ये है कि इधर and है, it's not or. So logically they are not the same statements. You have or here, you have and here. Sorry about that, what I said before. So there you have an or there, you have an and here. So ये पहले second से तो नहीं आया. Because here boy and women they are related. You don't know the value of boy का कितना efficiency because it depends on women. Since they are dependent, we don't know their efficiency, so I can't put anything here for women, so I won't be able to get man ka efficiency. Everything is variable right now. Since I can't figure out 1 man ka efficiency, how will I figure out 5 men ka efficiency? और efficiency नहीं निकलेगा तो काम करने में days कितना है वो कैसे निकलेगा? Not possible, right? So the answer is going to be A, like some of you said. पहले से आएगा, दूसरे से नहीं आएगा. Okay, Sneha is asking me to solve this. Okay, Sneha. Let's solve this. So, Sneha, a woman or a boy takes 24 days to finish a work. Question is 2 women and 1 boy and 1 man can finish the same work in 6 days. So, instead of a boy, can I write a woman? 1 woman, क्योंकि boy और women दोनों same है, उनकी जगह ये काम करे वो करे. So can I say question changes to 3 women and 1 man can finish it in 6 days. Now if 1 woman finishes it in 24 days, 3 women will finish it in how many days? 8 days. अब ये question ऐसा हो गया ना, A can finish the work in 8 days. Sorry, I will not take A. I will take Abhishek can finish the work in 8 days. Mani finishes the same work in how many days? Together they take 6 days to finish. ये तो आप solve कर लोगे खुद से. मैं ये जो 3 women हैं इनको बोल रहा हूं कि their name is Abhishek और Abhi. Okay, anyone in the chat by the name Abhishek? बुरा मत फील करना, मेरे दिमाग में A आया, अभिषेक बोल दिया. ठीक है. So Abhishek is finishing the work alone in 8 days. Mani will take how many days? So that together they take 6 days. So don't you think it will become a question on ए बंदा कितने में करता है, दूसरा इतने में करता है, टुगेदर इतने में करते हैं, फर्स्ट वन विल टेक हाउ मेनी डेज. सो डेफिनेटली वी विल एबल टू सॉल्व इट. इसका आंसर कितना हो जाएगा? 6 into 8 divided by 8 minus 6, that will be 24. So इसका आंसर हो जाएगा 24 days. फर्स्ट से आंसर आ गया. यू आस्क्ड मी टू सॉल्व. सेकंड वाले से मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता. फ्रॉम द सेकंड वन इट्स गोइंग टू बी 1 boy plus 1 woman in 12 days will finish the work. 10 women plus 10 men can finish the work in 8 days. So what do you do in such questions? You take the work as the LCM of 12 and 8. Duration के LCM हमेशा लेते हैं ना. So I'll take this as 24, 24. So your question becomes 1B plus 1W is equal to 2. And 10W plus 10M is equal to 3. मेरे को आप ये बताओ, will you be able to solve two equations with 3 variables inside it? होगा solve? नहीं होगा. So you won't be able to answer this. नहीं diluted, she asked me to solve it. She wanted to see कि how do you solve such questions when it comes in time and work. Got it, Sneha now? I hope you got it. I'll move ahead. So one alone is sufficient and second scenario. Okay. So last question. Don't rush after this. I have got something to tell you guys. So find the age of Rita after 4 years. The ratio of Bina's percentage to that of Rita's percentage is 3:2. So Rita का 4 years बाद का age चाहिए. Rita का कभी age पता चल जाए. Any day, today's, yesterday's, 10 years ago, kabhi age, if I come to know about Rita, I can calculate after 4 years of what age she is going to have, right? So मेरा ध्यान है Rita का age any day, present, future, past, कुछ भी चलेगा. Now read the statements and try to figure out which of the statements will help you figure it out. You need the magnitude, you don't need relative value. ठीक है? So the ratio of Bina's present age to that of Rita's present age is 3:2. Again, क्या करेंगे ratio का? Ratio से क्या ही कर लेंगे, right? Won't get an answer. Sorry, black. Won't get an answer. Second, the sum of ages of Bina and Rita after 8 years is 66 years. So after 8 years is 66 years, तो present का sum पता चल जाएगा. But out of that sum, how much does Bina get? How much does Rita get? I will have no idea. नहीं आएगा second से. Sum पता है ना? I don't know individually. Let's combine them. So if I know the sum, present ages का sum and the ratio of their ages, I will be able to figure out Rita's age, current, present age, and 4 years later also. Definitely I'll get it, right? So thankfully we have the same people. Bina की जगह अगर टीना हो जाता तो बिल्कुल ही अलग होता. You won't be able to answer it then, है ना? Because you will have more variables, 3 variables and 2 equations. क्या ही कर लेंगे? So A is going to be used. Okay, so I hope the concept behind the types of questions asked in data sufficiency or in general day-to-day life, and how important it is to read the questions carefully, and next step, how important it is to not actually solve the questions but to realize, understand, is it solvable or not. Of course it requires a lot of concept. Just be topic a question. If it was a question on geometry, you should be good with it. At least you should be able to form the equations or the things given mentally, visually. So anybody who wishes to up their game in QA, quant, mathematics, if you do data sufficiency questions, your quant is going to be brilliant. Because what will happen in mathematics and QA section, when you're going to read the questions, with every statement, with every phrase, you will be like, acha, ye bhi given hai. Oh, acha, this is how I will be able to figure it out. Because that part is given and that will help me figure out the answer. So you will be able to connect the dots in the question. That's exactly how teachers like us, make questions. We know that in order to solve a question on compound interest, you need 4 things. उन 4 में से I'll give you 3. Out of those 3, 2 I will relate them, और 4th वाले को puzzle language में English difficult कर देंगे, because I know that students, they struggle in English, and I'll make a difficult question. If I want to make it easy, I'll straightforward give you 3 values out of 4 if you want to figure out compound interest. That's how questions are made. Okay? Yes, Vicky. It can be done without pen and paper. So the upcoming sessions. So tomorrow we are going to have Savitri ma'am. She is going to continue with verbal logic. Day after that, we will be having Gaurav sir. He will be doing figure in series part 3. His series is going on, right? Then Nikita ma'am is going to be there on 19th. She is going to do the analysis VARC ka. Srinivas is going to be there on 28th. Again, Gaurav is going to do LR and AR. Okay. The analysis will be there. So please, the answer. Okay. Detailed analysis will be there from 23rd to 25th August. And don't forget to subscribe and follow and like. Please don't forget to join the channel. And there is, have you guys attempted the CAT 2022 All India mock? So this is I wanted to discuss. Have you? This is free, right? You guys can attempt this. Why? Because your exam is coming up. You need a question bank, you need a practice, you need a mock to revise, right? So this has started from 16th and it's going to be there till 21st. Not 16th, it started from 12th, sorry. So it started from 12th of August and it's going to be there until 21st of August. Make sure you attempt this mock because you will have detailed analysis. You will be able to practice a mock. Of course, the level of difficulty will be a little more than your MAH CET, but help me later. You won't have DS there, you won't have vocab there. You will have DI ka alag section, it won't be clubbed with QA. You won't have visual reasoning, but the kind of maths and English, which is a little above difficult, you can expect. Chris, Ritu ma'am wala kaun sa sum hai? Rita, yeah, this one. Question number 3. Acha. Question number 3. Question number 3 mein Rita wala kaun sa? Acha, this one. So Ritu and Mitu can complete a task in 10 days. Mitu alone can do it in 22 days. Okay. So Ritu will take how many days alone? So question is Ritu 10 days together. Mitu alone 22 days. So Ritu alone will finish in 22 into 10 divided by 22 minus 10, which is going to be a very bad fraction. Okay? Really can't help it. It's going to be 55 upon 3 if you solve. So 55 by 3 days may Ritu alone can complete the same total work, not the part. This is what I was able to figure out just from the question. Now the first statement says Ritu completed the job after Ritu and Mitu worked together for 5 days. So this is a question, this is now part of the question where it happens in parts, break में कुछ ने अकेले करा फिर दोनों ने करा फिर कोई छोड़ के चला गया. So when such things happens, what you do is you assume the work. Work आप कुछ भी ले सकते हो. You can take 1, you can take 100, you can take 1000. कोई भी लो. You take a variable x ले लो आप. Doesn't matter, your answer is not going to change. But I prefer taking the LCM of the individual days that we have. So 22 and 55 by 3 का LCM लूंगा. And I will assume that is the total work that we have, that they are trying to finish. Okay? So 22 or 55 by 3 का LCM, 55 by 3 का LCM तो 55 है, 22 or 55 का LCM will become 110. So I will take 110 units of total. Okay, Chris? So far. Now these 110 units, Ritu completed the job alone After Ritu and Mitu work together for 5 days. So Ritu and Mitu work together for 5 days. So what will be efficiency of Mitu? What will be efficiency of Ritu? अब ये भी एक second step होता है निकालने का. पहले तो आप total work निकालते हो, then you figure out the efficiencies of each person, right? So efficiency of Mitu, how do you calculate? Total work divided by days. 110 by 22, 5. How will you calculate efficiency of Ritu? 110 divided by 55 by 3 total days. Total work by total days gives you the efficiency of that person. 110 by 55 by 3. इसको solve करोगे 6 आ जाएगा. Now 110 units करना है. Ritu and Mitu together worked for 5 days. Right? And then Ritu has to complete the work. So for how long did she work? क्या लिखे इधर? So this is going to be 11 into 5, 55 है इधर. 55 will go to the other side. You will have 55 is equal to 55 by 3 into D. ठीक है? अच्छा, sorry. This is not 55 by 3. ये कौन कर रहा था के लिए? रितु कर रही थी ना? This is 6 into D. So this is going to be 6 into D. है ना? So D is going to be 55 by 6. So Ritu was working for how long in this? Ritu ने कितना part काम किया? So can I say Ritu worked for 5 days with Mitu and she worked for 55 by 6 days alone as well? So total कितने days काम करा उसने? 5 days plus 55 by 6 days. इतने days काम करा और total days का काम कितने days का था? Total together का 10 days का था. So from here can you figure out कि out of 10 days together if she does this much amount of work, so what is the fraction of the work she finished? What part of the work she finished? Days से अगर आपको नहीं निकालना है, so what you can do is you can calculate from here also that out of 110 units, I'll write it here, out of 110 units of work, total work, Ritu ने कितना काम करा? Ritu did 6 into 5, 30 units और बाकी का बचा हुआ 55 unit. Because 55 units was together, so 55 Ritu finished alone. 6 into D 55 ही आया था ना? So this is the fraction of the work that Ritu completed alone, the part of the work. So either you can use duration or efficiency. Duration efficiency क्या होता है? एक दूसरे को उल्टा. 10 and 15 are the duration, efficiencies are 15 and 10. है ना? From the second one, the moment G2 comes in, मेरे पास variable बढ़ जाएंगे. The way I solve this, I won't be able to solve it now. Not this part, the second part. I hope it is clear now, Krish. Thank you, Varun. Guru, we already had DI ka lecture. Go in the if you have subscribed, go to our channel, YouTube channel. You will find it happened 2 days ago. It was a proper 2.5 hours session. Sure, definitely, Varun. Okay, thank you, everyone. Take care. See you in the next class. Okay, everyone, please do like before leaving. Okay, and people who are watching and have not subscribed, please do subscribe and press the bell icon so that you are notified every time we are going to have a session. Chalo, bye-bye. Chennai CAT 2023? 2022 देते, 2023 will again be in the month of November, 3rd week or 4th week. 3rd Sunday, 4th Sunday. Sometimes it has happened also on the 2nd Sunday of November. So it will be most probably in the month of November, unless and until kuch unexpected, some calamity doesn't occur. Okay, chalo, bye.